power, assurance, and strength. God's Spirit for me is power, because before I didn't have the drive at all to do anything to move forward, especially in my career. Now I don't have any fear because I'm a businesswoman. I have my own business now, and it's striving and moving from strength to strength. God's Spirit for me is also assurance, because before I didn't have any assurance in my mind. I was a very doubtful person. I couldn't see myself in anything positive, but because of the assurance in which He's given me, now I am happily blessed in my marriage. I have the assurance now that I'm moving forward in my love life. Strength for me is where before I was very weak within myself. I had many complexes. I used to think very negative about myself. I would put myself down, even if it was just a simple thing or a simple task even to do. I would be so weak in my mind that I wouldn't have the strength inside to tell myself that I was able to go forth and to overcome, or that yes, I can do something positive. The person who I am today did not happen overnight. It took a process and it took time. I had to put my faith into practice. I had to place my trust and believe in God, and knowing that from the person who I was before, that He will make me to become a better person by placing all those things inside of me, His power, His strength, His assurance inside of me. Today, I'm no longer the person who I was previously before. I'm a new person. I have joy inside me. I have peace. I'm able to give to others what I have inside of me, to share with them.
A very good evening to you, and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. I would like to pose a question to you tonight. What would you do? What do you think you would do if you discovered, if you were told that you only have a short time left to live? What do you think would be your reaction? Some people, they would probably rush into fulfilling what is popularly known as the bucket list, or their bucket list, and they would prepare one and say, okay, I have to make sure that I will do this, that I will do that. They would pursue their goals that they can achieve in a short time. Others probably just, cry and just not do much. But on tonight's program, this is what we are going to be talking about. Because in a certain way, all of us, we have a limited time here. And how are you using yours? If you think this is interesting to you, or even if you know someone that you believe can benefit from this talk, from listening to what we are going to present to you tonight, call that person, tell them to tune in, because this is the topic for tonight's Finding Answer. Your time left. Let's go to a break and we'll be right back.
What if you were told that you only had one day left in the world? Would you do anything differently? How much time have you already spent worrying or procrastinating instead of doing something that you love? Sometimes it takes a brush with death for many people to realize just how precious their life is. Are you stuck in a life that you thought you would never have? Do you find that you are always busy, but none of it is making you happy? Are you just running on the treadmill of life? What about that bucket list that you created years ago? Didn't you want to swim with dolphins, skydive, get married, learn to play the piano, run a half marathon? Or you just want to be free from anger or all of those grudges that you are holding? Remember, you don't have to wait for an apology in order to forgive. You may find that you start to enjoy your life more if you learn to accept all the apologies you never received. The key is to being thankful for every experience. positive or negative. It's taking a step back and saying, thank you for the lesson. It's realising that grudges from the past are a perfect waste of today's happiness, and that holding one takes more effort, energy and time than letting it go. So, what have you always wanted to do that you haven't done yet? What achievements do you want to have? What experiences do you want to feel? You don't know how long you have left, so why not make the most of it?
I think that one of the worst feelings for a person is the feeling of regret, that they could or should have done more, and they had the time, they had the opportunity, and they didn't do what they could have done. However, we don't have to live with this regret. And unfortunately, I don't know why, but sometimes, I even have here in the studio tonight with me, Victoria. Good evening.
Good evening.
So Victoria, sometimes it takes, like we were showing on the video, like a brush with death or some serious situation for the person to, it's like something kicks in, and only then the person starts doing something to actually do things that are important to them, things they could have done way before, right? Your thoughts on that, please?
Yeah, it's quite true. Obviously, we all have extremely busy lives, and we all have to do things like go to work, clean our house, that kind of thing. And those things really do take over. But once somebody finds out some bad news, maybe a friend or a family member, or even they themselves, maybe they're diagnosed with an illness or something like that, then that's the time when somebody actually has very serious regrets. And they can be quite painful to deal with, actually. If you realise that you've got to a certain age and maybe you don't actually have any more time, you can't actually do what was on your bucket list, then you might have these huge regrets.
Right. In a certain way, we all have our limited time. We won't be here forever. Yes? So I think it's important that once we know that, it's about how are we going to use this time. Right? There's so many positive things that people that are watching us right now could be doing, and maybe they're waiting. Your thoughts on that? Why is it that sometimes people just wait, they keep putting it off? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start the diet next week. I will, I'll reach out to that person that I'm not talking to probably next week too, or tomorrow. Why is it that people usually keep pushing it off? Always waiting for tomorrow for things they could and should do now.
Well, people tend to find change quite psychologically painful. So what people like to do is have everything else in their life aligned. So they want to be happy at home, they want to have enough money. So what they do is they sort of make psychological barriers for reasons or excuses why not to do something. But honestly, the best way to start to change your life or to fulfill your dream, as it were, is just set aside a small amount of time every day and even write down or plan some very short-term goals that can eventually lead to maybe finding even just part of your dream.
Yes, and I believe, talking to this camera here, I believe there's a lot of power in the now. Actually, the past is a part of time, but we can't change. The future pretty much depends on what we do right now. I believe in sowing today and reaping tomorrow. So there's a lot of power in the now. For instance, if right now you need help, if right now this has to do with what you're going through, you feel that you are this person that you struggle with doing what you need to do, you're always putting it off and you don't understand why you behave this way and you would like to get some help, you can call us right now. Our lines are open. You can speak to our counselors. It's 0207 686 6300. But there are other ways also that people can contact us, right?
Yeah, that's right. So if you'd like to send us an email, then just send it to help@findanswers.tv, or you can send us a tweet. Just start your tweet with @FindAnswersTV, or you can talk to us on Facebook. Just search for Finding Answers.
Right, that's right. And even now, if you want to speak to us on the air, if you want to share your thoughts, if you want to ask for help, towards the end of the program too, we're going to pray for you. But you can call us right now and even speak on the air, should you like to. I have a special guest here also with me in the studio. She has a very strong story to share. She's been through a lot in life. She had her, suffering in life, but she overcame. And when we come back from this break, very soon we're going to be talking to her. She's going to be sharing her story of success. So we're going to go to a break and we'll be right back.
All systems are go. We're about to
At Christian Books Plus, we offer a range of Christian books, Bibles, gifts, DVDs, and so much more. Our headquarters is situated in Finsbury Park, North London, and we have a few other stores located across London and around the UK. Our aim is to provide you with inspirational reads and beautifully packaged gifts that will enhance and strengthen your walk with God. However, if you prefer, you can shop from the comfort of your own home. On our newly revamped website, you can find the full range of products that we sell, from children's stories to Christian music. Purchasing from us is simple and easy. Select what you'd like, add it to your basket, fill out your details and proceed to the payment section, where you'll be able to make your purchase securely and have all the items delivered right to your door. We strive to provide the best service at all times, with staff that are warm, friendly and always ready to help.
The pursuit of happiness. What will make you happy? Success? Fame? New shoes? Financial security? Love? Education? Independence? Family? Sometimes in the pursuit of things we think will bring us happiness, sometimes we fail to see that we aren't happy, or we never find it. We live in a world of people. Rather than pursue things to make you happy, what if we all worked to make each other happy? Wouldn't we all be happier?
All systems are go. We're about to
Because of family problems that I had growing up as a child, I didn't get along with my mum. We used to argue a lot, and through this I felt very isolated. I started running away from home at a very young age, raving at the age of 12 years old, just doing things like, being disobedient to my parents, didn't want to listen to nobody. And through this I got involved with the wrong crowd. I was drinking alcohol nearly every day, stealing it as well from my mum. This developed into me just rebelling. And then through that, I had many children. I had 13 children in total. I started smoking crack cocaine at the age of 18, 19. I didn't care about myself, I didn't care about my family, my children. Through the addiction, I lost my house, I lost my children. My children was removed from my care. Some of them got adopted, 4 of them got adopted, was taken away from me. I started attending the church. I got myself engaged in a chain of prayer. I was coming on a Wednesday, Friday, and on a Sunday. But I wasn't really able to break free from this. At the time, I remember there was a campaign of Israel that came up. So I took part in that because 25 years of addiction, I had enough. And I saw the testimonies, everyone's testimony, so I said, you know, this is for me. And today, I'm free, I'm happy. I no longer have that desire to smoke, to drink, to prostitute myself. And I have a relationship with my children now. My son is in the church today as well, and I'm very happy.
All things are possible when we believe, when we work hard, and also when we do not wait for tomorrow to do the things we must and can do today. And to show to you that it is possible to overcome, I have someone here tonight with me at the studio, a special guest, Anabelle Augustin, who is going to share her story. Her life was very bad. She went through a lot of problems, serious ones, but she's going to share with us tonight how she was able to turn failure into success, sadness into joy. Stay with us. We're going to talk to her.
It's pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
So back to finding answers, and I'm here with Anabelle. Good evening.
Good evening.
So I was seeing that your problems, your story of pain began at a very early age, yes? Can you tell us what happened?
Well, basically I come from a broken family. My parents were divorced or separated from a very young age. Then at the age of 16, I was pressurized, forced by a cousin to actually have sex with him, followed by a series of when I had to go for my exam, he would be following me in a truck, threatening to kill me or kill my parents if I was to tell what he was doing. Consequently, I actually failed my exam, so I dropped out of college, went to work really far in a hotel so that he wouldn't know where I was. I even then went to work on a cruise ship so that he wouldn't see me. If I would see him on the street, I would run away, basically, frightened. Then, following that, I came to the UK, hoping that the grass would be greener, but it wasn't. So what?
Sorry, so you came to the UK to really try to run away?
To run away from everything, because, you know, I dropped out from college, everything was a failure there, so I came here to hope for better opportunity. And so I came here to study. And sadly, the college I paid to come in actually didn't really exist when I came, so all the money I paid was lost, so I had to find a way to get myself to another college so I don't lose my visa and find work from there. And so that's how I've actually gone to study, and, you know, I worked as a carer and made my way up in the care field. And then I've worked all the way until May 2012, where I received really bad news where my dad actually committed suicide. So, but before that, there was a series of things that happened. Like, I myself had a broken marriage. And like you said, the time is very important because everything around me was busy, you know. Work was busy, studying was busy, and actually I didn't have time to put into the marriage, so things really got worse, and it became into an abusive relationship. Also. Yes.
So it's like abuse was haunting you.
Yes.
Yes. And Anabelle, you know, from abuse to dropping out in school to failing over there, failing over here, having this situation. Did you ever wonder why? It's like everything wrong was happening with you. How you used to feel those days?
Yes, I used to be very depressed. I used to sometimes, you know, had enough wanting to die, you know, and even I started to drink, like being addicted to alcohol, cigarette, smoking weed sometimes, you know, anything that would really,
Did you ever tell anyone what was going on concerning the abuse and the threats of your...
When I was young, no, I didn't. for what happened when I was 16. I didn't, because back home then there was a lot of taboo, a lot of things that you don't talk about. So no, when I'm an only child, so I wouldn't really have brothers or sisters to share things with. So no, it was more to myself. Even to discuss it with my mom, it would be more of a shameful thing to, you know, so you keep it to yourself. So it really took me time to come to terms with it myself.
So coming here, you try to fill the gap, as you said, partying, right? Smoking, doing these things, try a little bit of everything. But did it really fill the gap?
No, it didn't. It didn't. There was always, you know, it's always looking for something new, maybe a new relationship, or maybe I need to have a child, or maybe I need to have things to actually fill that gap that was there, that void that was there.
Right. And failing in marriage, and then the death of your dad came, you were still married?
No,
or
it was about a year after I broke up from my
Were you close to him, to your dad?
Oh, yes, yes. 2 days before he actually committed suicide, I actually spoke to him on the phone for a long time, because we were planning his birthday that year, his 60th birthday. So it did come in as a shock. I was totally devastated. I thought, you know, that in a way for me it was the end of my life, because he was then, because when I grew up from my parents being separated, I was closer to my mom. But towards a couple of years before my dad died, I got really closer to him, because I was working in a management post and my dad had his own business, so we could relate a lot together, and I was able to start to share things with him. So for me it wasn't acceptable. I needed to find somebody to blame for his death, because I spoke to him 2 days before and 2 days later he wasn't there. So I just couldn't get to terms with it.
So did you know why he did it?
No, up until today, no, but we have got, you know, ideas that it could be because the business was struggling. My dad was a womanizer, so there could be different things involved, but we don't have an exact answer. There was no letter, no note, nothing.
You see, when something like this is happening, like what was happening to you, and I am certain that there's a lot of people watching us right now going maybe through similar situations, and they don't understand why it's like everything is going wrong. Of course, that at some point in life, some things go wrong. But when everything that is important, everything that is there in your list, since we're talking about time tonight, goes wrong for you, you simply can't achieve your goals. Everything that could possibly go wrong always goes wrong for you. This is not okay. This is not normal. When this is happening, evidently, there's something spiritual going on. We have to understand that we live in a world where there's God, there's good, but there's also evil. And when we are not approaching good, when we are not connecting with good, it's like automatically opening the doors for evil to come and do whatever it wants. And I believe that that's what was happening to you. You didn't know, right? Did you know anything about evil spirits? Did you know anything? You did.
Yes, I did.
Yes. So what were you trying to do were you trying to fight this? Were you trying to...
Well, I've tried all sorts. I've tried different religions. I've even tried, you know, traveling to South Africa to meet somebody who was a witch doctor who would be able to help me. You know, because I was hopeless. Everything I was doing was not working. Any relationship I would try wouldn't work. Everything was just not working. So much so that after I lost my dad, I went to Mauritius to bury him, came back within 2 weeks because I had to take my job back. I came back, I also lost the job. So I came back to nothing. You know, I was back to not even square one. I was back to square zero.
Wow.
So, you know, it got worse. I really started drinking, and I had enough. I was just partying. I was doing things because, you know, there was nothing that mattered anymore. Until, you know, it came to a point that I had to realize that I have to do something, you know, that, you know, my life couldn't just carry on this way.
Right, right. You were seeking, but it took you a while for you to find out the real way, for you to get help, right? Which we're going to talk about that after the break. But if you right now see like your story is a repeat of Anabelle's story. And you have tried, like she did, many different ways, many different doors, and you have come to no solution. There's help available. You can give us a call, 0207 686 6300. Speak to someone right now. Maybe you are sad because you lost someone you loved. You can still connect with us. You can talk to us. Or maybe you're like this, you don't know what else to do. You're crying there. You see that you are using your time in the worst way possible. You're making a bad use of your time. Your problems are increasing like your problems were increasing. And the more they increase, the worse they got, the heavier you went into things that don't really bring the solution, right? Because the alcohol or the weed or whatever is a temporary relief. We wake up in the morning, the problem is worse than before. So that doesn't really bring solutions. But there is a way out. She is going to share with us, with you, what she did that really brought the results, because today your life is changed.
Yes.
It's a completely different story. It's moving forward. If you want to know how her life moved forward, so please don't change channel. Be with us, because we are going to be right back.
All systems are go. We're about to
How does someone regain the will to live again? Let us help you.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort, and homework from you.
Every day, the course of life teaches us many lessons, but not all of them are positive. Even though we move forward, many times the journey becomes difficult. Sometimes it may seem like we will never get over what happened. We women know what it is to carry the burden of the past, but the truth is, the past does not need to influence the future. You have the option to change your story. We can show you how. Come to participate in the Inner Healing Seminar designed specifically for women on Saturday the 21st of February at the Rainbow Theatre, 232 Seven Sisters Road, London, N4 3NX, and entrance is free. For more information, give us a call on 020 7686 6000, uckg.org.
All systems are go. We're about to
Welcome back to Finding Answers, and the topic for tonight's show is your time left. How to use it, how will you use it? So we went to the streets of London to ask people about this topic, what they think about it. Let's have a look at what they said.
Definitely depression is probably number one.
They're arguing and they're talking negatively about each other.
What is more valuable than another? And so
you can have as many friends and family as you want. It just depends.
Is a common regret, like, oh, like I should have like asked that person out, or like.
Hi, I'm Chica on the streets of London for Finding Answers. Time is something that we all have, but seem to always need a little bit more of. So I'm going to ask the general public what they've been doing with their time. Let's see what they say. Do you spend more time pondering or planning your future?
Pondering. Most definitely pondering, yeah. I procrastinate quite a lot, so yeah, most certainly pondering.
That's probably going to be pondering, I think. You'd like to think you would plan, but I think it's pondering. You don't know what's around the corner, so.
I plan my future, but it's probably not realistic, so I just ponder about a plan, if you know what I mean. I don't know, yeah, it's like a plan I'll never achieve, but it's always good to be optimistic.
It's kind of both in the same time, yeah, I think like you're planning, but at the same time you're kind of pondering at the same time.
I'd probably say pondering my future. I've got a plan in my head somewhere about the future. I'm just hoping that it all falls into place on the way.
I would say when I was younger, I spent a bit more time pondering, but now as I've grown up, I spend more time planning my future.
So these were the thoughts of the people in the streets of London. And I am back here with Anabelle. So, Anabelle, someone with a story like that, with a past like that, can change.
Yes.
Because today things changed. Huh? How did things begin to change for you? When does the story has a turning point?
Well, basically a few months down doing what I was doing after my dad died and losing my job, I decided that I had to do something because I couldn't just waste my life. So I set up a business for somebody before that was doing well, so I decided to set up the same thing for me, which, however, was not doing well. Mm-hmm. Then I decided one day that I had to go back to church. And from, the first day I went there, I started to change within myself. I received practical advice.
How did you come to find out about the church?
Well, I used to attend the church when I was in Mauritius, but then I left the church. Mm-hmm. And from the time I left to coming back, that's when things really went bad for me, Mm-hmm. But when I came back, things really changed. Like first few days I did receive a prayer and I actually couldn't smoke anymore. I was feeling sick with the cigarette, so I stopped smoking and drinking. So the addictions were gone.
So you stopped smoking and drinking. Yeah. The addictions were gone. That took you how long since you started attending the church?
Oh, just a couple of days.
In a matter of days?
Yeah.
So these two you could knock down just like that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you saw it was working?
Yeah. My physical body wanted to smoke, but when I would go to smoke, I couldn't. I would feel sick. It's like it was rejecting it. Mm-hmm. So the addiction was out. And the first month, also my business started really picking up. I was paying the staff already 5 times more than what I was paying. So the client was increasing and the staff was increasing. And through obviously attending, I've been now attending the church for about a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And I've been receiving practical advice on different areas of my life. For example, through business meetings that has helped me to understand how to change things in my business, like change the strategies and keep the focus to make the business grow. Mm-hmm. Also in my love life, on how not to be demanding, but what I have to improve within myself to be in a relationship, to be the woman for the right man.
You're talking about the love therapy, right?
Yes.
Do you attend the love therapy meeting?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's been really helping. Mm-hmm. And also several meetings for women that helps you to heal from inside, because through going through so much abuse, problems, the way my dad died, it obviously leave you like scars within yourself that you need to deal with. I had to deal with. Nobody could help me, not even a doctor. I had to deal with that. And through these women meeting, it has really helped me to actually look inside myself and, make peace with myself, basically, and actually move on, to be able to do things in a better way and be better.
I assume these things did not happen automatically, right?
No.
It's been, you said, about a little bit over a year and a half. Some things were easier for you to let go, like you said, the smoking, the drinking, that was like on the first few days, right?
Yeah.
And there are things that were harder.
Yes.
Right? I believe some things you are still changing, still improving.
Yes, it's everyday change.
Can you tell us something like specific that you have received, or maybe a guidance or something that really helped you, that was like a game changer for you?
Yes, actually, when I came to church, I was in a relationship. And, you know, obviously when we came to church, we started to do the right thing. We didn't sleep together. We actually were living in the same house, but we had separate rooms. So we really did everything the right way. However, there were things in our character that was not matching, but it was more the fear of making that decision. But through attending meetings, I did get guidance that, you know, there was no point being together because there would be a repeat of situation that happened before. But then again, you know, the fear of, okay, what if I, you know, break up? But then I actually took, you know, really got the strength and actually called it off. And from doing that, different areas of my life started to even move forward, because it seemed to me like sometimes you hold on to things that is not meant to be there, and actually it blocks other areas of your life, like for example your business can suffer, your family life or your health. But by letting go, it actually improves the quality of the things that is involved in your life, and that's what actually happened.
So basically you're saying that through the teaching, through the guidance, you got the strength, you were empowered to take decisions that were hard. However, those decisions brought your life, you know, even to a progress, to a better situation. Yes?
Yes.
Because this is important. We're talking about time tonight. And how many people sometimes they are struggling with this decision. They know they have to take this decision. They know it's the right thing to do, but they're always afraid. They're always wondering, but what if this? What if that? But while we are wasting time with what ifs, the problem is growing like a snowball, right?
Yeah.
So, but you were empowered through the teaching so that you could do this. So now, your business, how is it going?
My business is going good. I've got some new projects that has come through, new contracts that we are working on starting in the next few weeks. They are things that I actually didn't even know that existed to be part of my business, that I've actually not experienced when I set up the business for the other company I worked for. So definitely it's going better. It's a challenge every day. You overcome every day, you get new things, new challenges, but is moving forward.
Very good. So you overcame the addictions, you overcame this problem, right, in the business, you overcame the failure. What is the difference between inside now, Anabelle today, and the old one?
Well, funny enough, I was speaking to the pastor earlier and I was saying that it seemed that before I had a war inside of me, and everything outside was okay because I was doing everything that's wrong. So everybody was, you know, your friend. But inside, I was not at peace. Whereas now, I've lost a lot of friends because obviously I don't go clubbing anymore. I don't go drinking with them anymore. However, inside, I am a lot happier and at peace and happy with myself.
Right. So actually you mentioned something, you know, interesting, because sometimes, you know, we have a big circle of friends, but they are friends only when sometimes everything is okay, quote unquote, when, you know, the party is there. But when the problem really comes hard, the problem hits hard, sometimes many of these so-called friends aren't there. So friend is the one that is with you always, in good times and bad times. And God is a friend because it was through the power of God.
Yes.
Yes? And prayer does make a difference. Everything began to change for her through prayer. That's why we believe in prayer. Towards the end of this program, we are going to pray for you. You can even prepare a glass with water. We have our glass here. We're going to pray on your behalf. And what God did through her, He can do through you. Give yourself a chance. And you can call us right now if you want to find out more information, if you need help, You just need to talk to somebody right now. You don't know what else to do. You believe things can change. You want to use your time in a better way, but you need some guidance. So 0207 686 6300 is the number to call. I want to thank you, okay, for coming. Is there anything else that you would like to say or say maybe?
I think just to stress again that it is a very important thing that we all have an expiry date on our life.
Yes.
And the most important thing is we don't know when that is. So I think we should just be, you know, ready, always do what we've got to do. Don't postpone it because we don't know what is around the corner.
That's right. That's right. We can take control of our now and make decisions today that will have a strong impact in our lives. Like you took these decisions, one decision led to another, that changed your life, right?
Yes.
So thank you very much for being here, okay?
Thank you.
God bless you and may you continue growing more. I believe you will come more times with other stories.
I will.
Right? Yes. Very good. So we're going to go to this break and we're going to come back with more.
All systems are go. We're about to
Hi, the Chrissy B Show airs live on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, coming to your homes with entertainment, life issues as well as hard-hitting topics, coupled with friendly and practical advice. I love to look at the happier side of life and believe a person can achieve amazing things when they put their mind to it. The Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life.
When we want to reach our goals, we research, act, and make sure we know everything there is to know about that topic. We study hard because that is the intelligent thing to do. This is the same for our development as a Christian. The Faith School is designed for those who want a degree in spiritual growth, those who want to separate time to study the Holy Bible and follow God's path for their life. There is no admissions fee and is suitable for every level of learner. You will learn how to interpret the Word of God for your daily life and become stronger internally. Do you want to find inner peace and spiritual strength? Then this course is for you. The Faith School, every Wednesday at your local UCKG Help Centre. For more information, call 020 7686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org.
All systems are go. We're about to
So tomorrow we are going to have a special edition of Finding Answers with an expert guest here that will talk about a subject that is very important. So I'd like to remind you, on Wednesday there's always a special edition of the Finding Answers, okay? Tomorrow at the same time. So I'd like to speak to you, Victoria. So I was listening to the people talking about, you know, what they think about tonight's topic, your time on the streets of London, and I saw some of them mention about procrastination. I think that's a big issue for a lot of people who are watching us right now. Why is it that people tend to do it? To just postpone and be there thinking about it, but never really taking the necessary action to do it?
So procrastination is avoiding a difficult or unwanted task, and we all do it from time to time. So there may be things that you're not quite sure about, you don't know how to approach them, or you really don't want to. So we'll find something that's less difficult or slightly more enjoyable. And actually, I've just found out, just looked at some statistics, and 20% of the population are chronic procrastinators. Wow. And these people actually have difficulty with self-control. So you'll find that somebody who does this most of the time will never really find the route that they're looking for. So in terms of career, their social life, any kind of progression, they just put it off and off and off. Now, most of us don't want to do difficult or unwanted tasks, but we have enough self-control that we do it and we get down to it. But some people really won't do it. And there can be a huge range of reasons why people don't do it, but it can actually be a serious problem.
You know, it's interesting because there is a verse in the Bible that says that faith without action, faith without works, which is action, is dead. So even faith, when it comes to faith, and we talk about God, one of the strongest powers there is, but it still requires action. God is not someone who procrastinates. God waits for the action. The first step is not from God. You want an answer from God. The first step is from you. You take one step towards Him, and He comes with an answer towards you. So sometimes people are not maybe thinking of the consequences. That may be the reason, right? Because I can find something very enjoyable to do right now, but it's totally not productive. And maybe something that I might not enjoy doing right now, but it is so important for me to achieve what I need, yes?
Yeah, people with low self-control will tend to deny or repress feelings of consequences. So they'll just think of the here and now. So we do actually say that doing things in the here and now is very important, but also on the other side, you do have to think about the consequences.
Yes, that's right. To have balance, right? Yeah. To have a balance between the work, the fun, things we like to do, things we need to do, maybe we don't like, but they're important. So we have a video to show you. I'd like to show you this video, then we come back with a prayer.
Today is just another day. It's the sort of day that will offer you chances.
What if you just had one more day? What would you do differently? How much time have you already spent worrying instead of doing something that you love?
Somebody should tell us right at the start of our lives that we're dying. Then we might live life to the limit. Every minute of every day. Whatever you want to do it now. There are only so many tomorrows. I say to you that if you're driven by anything other than your love, than your spirit, your desire to grow and expand, if you're driven by your need to please others, if you're driven by your fear, if you're driven by your past, it's time to free yourself. And the way to do it is decide. Decide consciously what you want your life to be about.
It was impossible for me to settle down with one person. And I started a relationship, I was very young, I was 16 years old. My relationship went on for 8 years and would break down and go back. During that period, I have a daughter when I was 20 years old. Got married for wrong reasons and didn't work. So after I broke up with my ex-wife, a few months later I met another person that we started having the relationship, and she's brought me to England. So after 3 years, the relation was cold, it didn't work. I was cheating on her, I was doing all things wrong, doing my will, and I didn't respect her. So the relationship didn't work for me. I broke up and I moved on to another relationship. But this time I was faithful. I started changing my character. So I used to work hard for this person, and things for me was well. I had a child with her, but a few years later things didn't work. She broke up with me, where I was so depressed because the child, I didn't expect that, and it was the only person I really sacrificed my life for. I found someone after a year and a half, working on myself first, coming to the church, listen to the word of God, learning and make the change that I need to for myself first. And I didn't want to make another mistake. And finally, God put someone in my life that's been working very well. But today, finally, I found the right person, and she's faithful to God and to me, and we're doing very well. We're very happy together. Married life, new life, everything is new because God makes everything new.
So we're coming to the end of tonight's program, but I would still like to bring up something that I said in the beginning, and I think it's important to stress that the only part of time, the only time frame we actually have power over is called now. You don't have power over yesterday, you don't have power over tomorrow. Tomorrow to many will not even come, but you have power over now. You can decide that you're going to do something that will be productive to you, that will help you, instead of just waiting for another time, instead of postponing the decision that you know that you have to make. And if you need help in prayer, to have the strength to do it like Anabelle did, through a prayer, things begin to change in her life. And I believe that through a prayer, things can start changing for you too. I have here my glass with water. You can prepare yours. I invite you to pray with me if you want. It's a moment of prayer.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer for your health and general well-being, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
God, right now, by faith, I ask you on behalf of these people that are watching this program and praying with us now, from wherever they are, maybe at home, maybe at work, maybe, who knows, even in the hospital or prison, in a good place or bad place. It doesn't really matter, because you are everywhere where there is someone crying out to you. And I call out to you, God. I ask you to strengthen this person, to take the decisions that maybe they've been trying to avoid, maybe they've been scared to take. They want to do it, but they don't have the strength. They fear. They dread what can happen. Maybe 1 million negative thoughts come to their mind. When the time comes to really do it, they get so nervous, or they get so frustrated and angry because they didn't have the strength to do what they needed to do. So please, God, use this glass of water. Use this water as a point of contact. But wherever this person is, empower them right now. Remove the fear and bring in the strength. Remove the negativity and this paralysis and shine your light on this person. Empower them to move forward, to take the decision, to believe that things can change, to believe that their life doesn't have to be a rerun of the past, but they can rewrite the book of their life today by taking action now, God, now. Remove these ideas that they are too far gone. Remove these ideas that it's too late. Remove these negative thoughts that only rob this person of their time and their energy that is important for them to change their lives. This is what I ask you. And I bless this person. I bless you, friend. Wherever you may be blessed. Be blessed. And I bless also the water you have in your hands. And I decided when you drink it, you are drinking of God's energy into your body, into your life, for you to be able to do what you need to do. And if you agree with me, just say amen and drink the water now. So thank you for being with us tonight. I believe that we helped you, that we blessed you through the prayer, through the message. And tomorrow we'll be back at the same time with more Finding Answers. Good night.